Namaste, 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 my friends, and welcome to another edition of Author's
Namaste,
Corner. Yes, we are here with one of my favorites in the industry, and I don't say that about everybody. Thank you to Power Music for the licensed and royalty-free intro and exit music each and every time. Power Music is my go-to source. Thank you to Dave Petty and all those ethical people. Our guest is, boom, on Perfect Cue. Kia Williams is not only a new author of a new book and a multi-talented award winner. 2 or 3 years ago, my Discovery of the Year. I believe she is incredible. She's presented for me and my Staventions, and now we're going to find all about a new book with a gender in the title. And I love her facial expressions. Welcome, Kia, to Author's Corner. Can you please tell us where are you and what time is it?
Hello, I am in Chicago, Illinois. It is approximately 5:42 p.m., so rush hour time for us here in the city.
It is. Before we read functional blah, 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 as a teaser of your title, the first word starts with F. My favorite words start with F. And then U, and then an N. Starts with the word fun something. I'd like you to tell us what is a non-traditional question. If you go to my Human Kinetics book, which is just latest out in Chinese with June Khan, wait till you get translated. That's where the big bucks start coming in from Human Kinetics. I would like you to tell us, please, we go to the back cover of your book, we read your bio. Tell us all something super cool that we're not going to find out about Kia in the back cover of your book, leaving out that you're the current IDEA Instructor of the Year of 2023, because I think that's even more recent than this book went to print, probably, to make it into the bio there. I'm not sure, but we'll know that about you because I just told everyone. Right, Give us something juicy.
Exactly. So don't hold that back. Instructor of the Year 2022. Thank you, Lauren. Something juicy that you won't find out about my bio. I am extremely introverted. I own that word now. I'm actually quite shy, but I work really, really hard to pull it out and pull it off to entertain a bit. But also, I actually am a writer. I'm claiming that title too, and I'm not going to be humble about it. I got 2 degrees from the University of North Texas that says so. I study creative writing and also radio, television, and film with a specific or a specialty in writing. So putting words on page, entertaining through writing is my joy, is my passion. So finally, we're here.
Makes your heart sing. Okay, now that you've shown us, tell us the title and what does it mean?
Sure. The title of this book is Functional Core for Women, Targeted Training for Glutes and Abs. It is a gender-specific book for women, but listen to me. I wrote it. It's not just gender specific. It's about the body. It's about movement. It's about exercise, functional movement, feeling good, understanding why the body does what it can, or how we can make it maybe do some things differently or better, however you define better. So wherever you, or however you self-identify, I do believe that this book is targeted towards you if you want to learn a little bit about core training.
Amen, mic drop. Should you go to a second edition, I really invite you to connect to some of the editors and plead your case for functional core training for humans and see if it just might catch the other third or fourth or fifths of the human condition based on how many words we'll use to self-identify by them. Kia, I want to tell you that in the book I did with June Khan for Human Kinetics, they called it morning cardio workouts. And we asked, do we have to say it's for cardio in the morning? Because many people want to come home from work who work all night or all day or have non-traditional jobs or homeschool moms, homeschool dads, homeschool parents. There's not always the norm for the case of morning cardio workouts. We inherited the title and the contract to write the book. And I thought the title, I still think the title, and June agrees with me, if I can be so daring as to speak for her, the title is more limiting than inclusive of anytime cardio workouts. Although there are 5 things that research base tells us that you get within doing your cardio work within 3 hours of waking, that can be done anytime. Some people come home from work if they've worked all night in the morning, take a nap and get up and then do something before going to work, although it could be their 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Maybe your title could evolve.
Well, my LLC is at the core of it all. So that should have been. That was my preferred title of the book, but here we are, and I'm proud of the work, everyone.
Congratulations. Human Kinetics, for people who don't know, is synonymous with fitness education around the world. And when Human Kinetics offers a book with a title that's sort of pre-done, we don't say no. You might offer some suggestions on edits and future work. I just think congratulations. One of my favorite things of the book is when you start off blasting myths, like a fit core is a 6-pack or some kind of pack. And you say some people may even find that aesthetically nice. However, let's talk about where the core is, what it does, and what it means to have a fit core. Just brilliant. Good for you for bashing standards.
Lauren, those are my words. You read my book. Thank you. I'm quite impressed. Thank you.
Well, I've gone through your book, you see, even though I happen to have a penis, and even though I am cisgender male and I self-identify with the pronouns as you see on my Zoom pronouns, pay me, I still felt compelled because you're such a favorite of mine. And I don't say that about a lot of people. I say I just had to interview you. You have a new book, but you're one of my favorites, and I don't say that about everybody. So if you ever go to print again, put my name on a testimonial on your back cover. Tell us, Kia, we're in an elevator with you. We got about 60 seconds or less. What's your 1-minute sound bite after we've established? You've asked me, oh, what's the name of your dog? Biscuit. Oh, and you, what are you doing? I'm a writer. Really? What about?
Tell me about your core. I'm going to make it super obnoxious and uncomfortable. Tell me about your core. And then I'll wait for you to respond. And then I'll say, nope, that's not it. You got to grab my book so that you can learn a little bit more about it. The core is the center of your body. And let me read an ode to you. This is an excerpt from my book. May I, Lawrence?
Please, unrehearsed.
An ode to core. Oh, my dear core, the center part of me, a system of muscles, some too deep to see, to stabilize and support my body in motion, to train and exercise, I give you my devotion. Muscles that twist and turn, chisel and burn, strengthen and lengthen, and oh yeah, extension. Responsible for so much movement, functional, big and sometimes small, many tools and tips for self-improvement. This is my tribute to you at the core of it all.
Oh, how brilliant. You are definitely claiming the word author. You are definitely the queen of your words. And I love that you started by saying it brings you joy. Thank you for reading that ode. Thank you for your elevator short pitch. Why do you think the timeliness of your book is so imminent for all of us and important for all of us with an open mind to read your title, maybe because it's you, in spite of your title, if we happen to not be a woman?
Well, when I was approached about the project, the title was not decided at the time. That came from the publishing company thereafter, but they came to me because there has been a need, an identified need that people are getting injured doing abs. You know, the words that we use. Let's do abs. Or if they take a class that's titled something core on a group fitness schedule, the ideal is I'm going in to work on abs. So there's a lack of understanding or education around what we are delivering in our fitness settings. And then a lot of information that our general population are receiving is online, mostly social media. It's sexy, it's trendy, it's popular, it's fun, but does it make it right?
Correct. Thank you. Mic drop. And you know what? I believe the word sexy is really individually defined. Who are we to let some standards or some country or club culture or demographic or prejudice tell us what is sexy? Have you ever fallen for someone or at least been intrigued by someone's picture who normally would not be your type? Sometimes even we deviate from what we would say is, well, that's my type or that's what I find sexy, to use a word that you brought up. Thank you for defining that, because I think it's important that we look at your take is so timely, because not only do we have injuries, we also have people who don't even know where is the core of it all. The core of an apple is not something you can touch. You have to peel away all those letters to get to it, right? And
Absolutely.
the core of us is not something you can touch, at least not in public, in a gym, or ethically in a personal training session. That'd be something else if we're going to go back to that sexy term that you use.
So it's really just an approach
Kia,
of
can you please for us throw modesty to the wind, throw it aside, and tell us why you're so appropriately titled the expert for this book, Functional Core for Women?
because I'm obsessive and I will find the answer. I will find the cure. I will stay the course to continue to study and research and understand the ins, the outs, the people affected, speaking directly to the people impacted so that we can come to a commonality, a good understanding where we can be sure that we're doing the best that we can with what we know how. And then in the future, I'll have a new volume because I'll learn more, research more, and there'll be more science to learn.
You're a lover of learning, and that's what makes us relate to you as a continuing education industry subject matter expert. Mic drop on those titles. I mean, everyone, for you, Kia Williams, you consistently thrive to study learning. You are not the expert on a pulpit standing behind it or hiding behind it sharing. You'll always say, I just discovered this way to share my music. I remember when we were back throwing stuff up on other devices and Zoom and StreamYard and Facebook Live, and you presented on a couple times on Stavention and a couple different ways we've streamed. You had a 3-camera class one time and left us all incredibly open-mouthed and gagged because you had the top view of your feed and the gliding disc over here and then the full-on backup what it looked like here. We were like, she's raising the bar in the bar for the bar without a bar. Literally, all those plays on words. Tell us, Kia, please. I think it's important that everyone understand, if we're interested in where can we find your book and in what formats can we find your book. And if you have a preference that we find it, please throw that in as well.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. I prefer that you go onto humankinetics.com. You can type in their search engine, Kia Williams. That is Kia. You can help me with the phonetic spelling of that. You're so brilliant that way.
K like kangaroo, I like indigo, A like apple.
Boom, just like that. And then the book can come up. It is ebook or print. But for quick access, because most of us are pretty familiar with Amazon, you can go onto Amazon.com, type in Functional Core for Women, Kia Williams, and the book comes up.
Thank you for plugging the Human Kinetics site, because it's always wonderful when an author gets asked. No one ever asks me, and I definitely have my preferences so that I can support my charity with proceeds of my latest book. Oh, I happen to have a copy here. It's called Mere. I need people to buy it from my site. And there is an option of Amazon, but that's sort of my last resort. And I love when people ask, where do you prefer? Do you have any plans to do readings from your book or do an audiobook or let us in on story time? Like every Friday for the year, you'll be reading from your books?
Asking, but you're like stealing all the thunder. Yes, Lawrence, because you're so in tune with me. Every Friday for the entire month of
No
April.
way. It really is Friday? Because we're completely unrehearsed. You know, I never told you I was going to ask you about what days of the week you have to. Come on, spill the tea.
I am. You spilled it for me. It's every Friday for the entire month of April. I will go live on Facebook and Instagram at KiaWilliams.fitness. And maybe there's an opportunity for me to collaborate and stream with you, Lawrence. Shameless plug. We will read from the book. We will take a series of exercises that we explain in the book, and we will put it into practice for a quick 10 to 15 minute demonstration activity. You will work out with me. It'll be a great time.
Thank you. I would love to invite you to put that promo, because I'm not great at typing while we're speaking. I'm thinking of the next question in one ear and listening to your current in one ear. In this feed, if you have another device that's open, maybe come to the Facebook of Lawrence, click share, and our live feed together will share. And then in comments on either one, if you put the link you mentioned to listen to you in real time, I will tell you that I will buy in. And if I can't be there, for example, I could do 3 of 5 or something like that Fridays, because I might have something else on a Friday night. Although it just sounds nice to say that. Trust me, I'll be logging in 30 minutes before on a Friday night. The L stands for Lawrence or lonely or loser. I will tell you that depending on where I am, of course. Are you recording it? So if we miss a Friday, we can find it?
I'll keep it on the page. Absolutely. This is for
Oh,
you all.
that's awesome. Okay, when we do books and we get them to an editor, like say the team of Human Kinetics, we get notes back of questions of what about this, or how inclusive is this, or could you exemplify this? Is there a study that supports? You know what that's like. When I trained Barbara Streisand for 1 week years ago, she said, "Oh, Lawrence, there's such a difference between the movie you think you're making," this was Yentl at the time, "and the movie that your friends end up going to see in a theater." And it was a mic drop because it really confirmed with me there's a difference in us. The Zoom we think we're having, or the class we think we're creating or delivering, or at a presentation. And then we get those funny, old-fashioned, outdated things called evaluations that are really quite toxic in the industry. I think that when you get it back, you see if there is a connection between you and your people or a disconnect. When you got your book back, you see different sections that you envisioned and you wrote. What's one section you could tell us about that you're really proud of how it turned out? It could stand alone. You're so jazzed to say, if you buy it for nothing else, you get functional core for women for the...
Well, the ode that I read to you just now, I'm quite proud of that. It was very sentimental, very personal to me. But also, I'm very proud of the feedback that we got on how well the book was done. Human Kinetics, although it has been around for a very long time, premier book publishing company, don't normally put their authors on the cover. So to be in the works and to print in color,
True.
They printed in color
in any language. Yeah.
Right.
Kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Trust my vision, to listen to me, to amplify the voice. I'm so proud of that. The positive feedback that we got about working with the models. I don't know what they expected from your girl, Lawrence, but you know I come prepared. They say that was the quickest photo shoot they've ever had. Models in and out in half a day. So we were very intentional with this entire project from beginning to end.
Kudos to you. And I know how inclusive you want it to be. So great for you. Where did you do your photos?
We actually took photos in the Human Kinetics studios in Champaign, Illinois.
Right. Okay. Local and easy for you. I worked a lot with the Human Kinetics team in Canada, and they're really ethical and kind and nice. And I've done you probably for CanFit Pro. If you're going there in Toronto this year or next year, you'll have a signing and a space in the booth. And they're such great guys and girls and team and spirits and people and individuals and humans and all those pronouns. They really are. And as you know, in our industry, it's wonderful to work for wonderful people. And it's also learning experiences when you work for less than wonderful people.
Absolutely. This we know.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for jumping on to part of my Author's Corner, which will live on my YouTube. You'll get the footage. I hope you splice and dice. You could take me out of everything. The book is called Functional Core for Women by Human Kinetics, Kia Williams. And make sure that you check out everywhere that you can get it, especially Human Kinetics, because humankinetics.com is really the place to go to support the Human Kinetics authors. And it's a wonderful thing to be asked. And it is a labor of love. Do you feel like it's been giving birth?
It does feel a bit aggressive.
On that note, I say with love in my heart, a firm commitment to say, keep reading or listening to your favorite authors, because that's how we grow, my friends. It doesn't just have to be the Bible on a Friday night. Now you got Kia. I say, my friends, thanks for listening. Stay crazy, close your inner circle, and see you next time. Bye.
Now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think